champ.
Thank you. Thank you.
Was that the most satisfying win of your career, given the beef that you guys have and had and everything else?
Like, I'm satisfied that I got the win, but I wanted to get that motherfucker out of there. I wanted to cause a little more damage. I definitely got to see the look I was looking for. Like, oh, he wasn't ready for the pain that I was gonna bring him. But so yeah, that is the most satisfying. Given the talk he was talking. I'm glad to be the one that shut him up for a little bit. I feel like if I would have finished him, it would have shut his mouth for a longer time. But he's gonna be mad, and I can sleep well at night knowing that.
How far in advance did you plan your little send-off once you got on the mic? The little.
I thought about that backstage. Backstage, I was like, you know what? The fans not really liking him, so I'm gonna give the fans, you know what I mean, some I told you so too after the fight, you know. I think they enjoyed that.
So take us through the fight from your perspective.
Yeah.
Obviously, two stories to the fight. One is control time.
Yep.
And two is, you outstriking him. So were you surprised at the wide disparity of the scores?
I was surprised with the 50-35 or 50-45. Because I definitely believe he was trying to like control, and that we know that's his game. But he did like literally no damage to me any of the times. Anytime he controlled me, because he couldn't do damage because I'm creating space and doing the things I'm supposed to do to keep the fight moving, like to progress toward a finish. And anytime I got in the dominant position, I was progressing toward a finish. He was just trying to stall the fight out. That's all he was doing. So I don't think, and even the commissioner read us the rules in the beginning of the fight. It was like damage, cage generalship, those hold the highest regard in a fight. So just because you hold somebody's legs for, a round, that don't mean, you should win a fight. And I think that's how it should be. This is mixed martial arts.
But you've been around this game quite a bit.
Yeah.
You've seen things go screwy. So was there times during the fight when you're on your back and he's holding you down that you're going, oh shit, man, this could turn sideways on me in a hurry?
Yeah.
With the judges.
And my coaches were giving me senses of urgency too. Like I need to get going, and I know that going into this fight, like that's his whole game plan. He's gonna try to hold me. And the game plan was not to get him there. He was good enough to get up or to get in and get past my back, so get past a lot of my defenses. But ultimately, he wasn't able to do anything with the position, and I was able to escape a lot of the positions. I don't know if he ever finished like on top of me at the end of the round. I don't remember now, but I believe I was able to reverse him or escape from position. Majority of the times, he was able to gain position on me.
You got to be in there with Patchy. Obviously you're fighting him several months down the line. What are your initial thoughts on that? And did you see any of his fight against Magomed?
Yeah, I seen glimpses of it. I seen the finish. And I know Patchy's good on the ground. My thing is, you're not better than me in mixed martial arts. In grappling situations, you might think you're better than me, but you got to get past a lot of things to get into my or to get me to the ground or get me to engage or be in a bad position. I got amazing submission defense and wrestling, so we'll see. I'm looking forward to that fight actually because he's proven himself to be like among one of the great. He beat Horiguchi and he's beat Magomed, who I also have a win over. So he's definitely, I wouldn't say he's deserving of the spot, and I'm actually looking forward to putting my fist through that gap in the middle of his teeth. So I'm excited, I'm excited for that fight.
You seem pretty healthy. He seemed pretty healthy when he was back here. How soon do you want to get this thing wrapped up? Do you have a timeline?
Zapatello bitch ass ain't punch me or kick me or do nothing to me that whole fight. So I'm ready to go. If he's ready to go in February, I will be ready to go. That's up to him. I should ask my family actually before I do that because that's a little soon. But I'm ready to go. I love to fight. So I'll be ready to go as soon as he's ready to go.
Kenny Williams for Ken Chronicles Media. How you doing, Stotts?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
You're doing well, man. It's been well documented. You called him out on Ken Chronicles Media when we interviewed back in April.
Yeah.
Walk us through the emotions on you actually winning and it coming to fruition.
Yeah, man, it's just, everything that I say is going to happen. It ends up happening. I speak these things into existence, and they end up happening. It's just, like, gratifying, Like I said, like, I wanted to finish him and, kind of disable him for a little bit, but I didn't get that, but I got the win, and I also got to shut him up a little bit, so that's definitely, I'm gonna sleep well at night for a little bit, you know. I'm gonna probably troll him a little longer on social media and stuff. Yeah, let's go! Yeah, a bunch of people probably gonna troll him with me, but yeah, I'm just excited. I'm excited for the win.
And you know, I got a personal question for you, man. What's gonna be your victory meal tonight, man? I know you can't cheat on the diet.
Oh man, I'm cheating on the diet for sure. Michaela, what we getting? I don't know. What's up, baby? What's up? I want to get, so jambalaya. Jambalaya is one of my favorite dishes to have after the fight, you know. So I'm gonna ask Jason, my nutritionist, to see if we can get some jambalaya or something, man. He cooked me up some good stuff this week too. So yeah, I'll probably try some jambalaya.
Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Very good. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Let me ask you this, and I know you kind of got asked this a little bit. You're sitting there, one scorecard's right, another scorecard's right. It's coming down to one man's decision whether you're the champion or not. What's going through your mind?
Man, in that moment, a lot of regret. Just like, man, I should have finished him, or man, I should have, you know, gave a little more, or not let up a little more. But yeah, so I don't like going to judges' decisions, you know, because I'm leaving my future in the hands of, you know, other people. So when I heard that 50-45 in the beginning, I was like, God damn it, here we go. Because that was an outrageous scorecard, I feel. But you know, it worked in my favor. You know, probably a little bit of luck, a little bit of, you know, skill, a little bit of God on my side. So, you know, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful in those situations.
I mean, obviously you're in the moment, it's really hard to score, but you know, you're cornering and stuff. Like, what rounds did you think you won? Like, what was your scorecard? Or if you're in it, you might not be able to. Or your teammates, what are they telling you?
I think the first round, I think he controlled me. I wasn't able to get a lot of damage off. I don't remember if in the second round I felt like I maybe have won, or he might have got the second round. Beyond the third round is when my coaches Eric Nissick and Eve Edwards told me, like, I need to be more urgent. You got to be more urgent. You can't give up anything, and that's when I kind of started. I feel like winning the fight. The fifth round, I feel like I knew it was a crucial round. I was winning the fight early, and then he got position on me, and I was even in that position. I was just landing. You know, I was landing those back elbows, and I was giving damage. You know, every second of the fight, I was giving damage. So I thought that would help me win the fight. You know, and it did.
How close was that knee bar?
Man, the knee bar was close. Man, I almost got his ass to the knee bar. I think he switched like his hips like at the last minute. And I had like 10 seconds to go, so I couldn't like reposition. But I definitely surprised him, I think, with it.
And kind of two-part question.
Yeah.
You said that you didn't think it'd be competitive.
Yeah.
It was pretty competitive.
Yeah,
This
it was.
decision.
Yeah.
Do you respect his skills more now? And then the second part of that question is, obviously he talked a lot of trash. He wasn't able to completely back it up.
Yeah.
But it made a lot of people really excited for the Grand Prix, particularly this fight more than anything. Would you say he's good for MMA?
No, I think he's good for MMA. I think he was great for my career. He was a great step I needed. I feel like I needed a villain. I needed somebody, you know, on the other side of the cage that people thought could hang with me and, you know, would like pose a threat to me and challenge me, you know, and he definitely did that. His skills were better than I thought they were, so I'll give him credit for that. But I still won, so I'm still gonna talk shit and rub it in his face. So.
Ralph, so your next fight's with, you know, Patchy.
Yep.
Then possibly, you know, with Sergio.
Yep.
Do you think you're done facing Abatello, or you think he's going to come back again?
I said this in the beginning. I feel like this was early for me to face Abatello. I think he'll be back. I think he'll learn from this this loss, and he'll be better for it. I think he still needs time in the game to grow. So yeah, hopefully I see him again, because that was like a fun fight and that was a fun build up, and he had a lot to say that I thought was good. So hopefully I see him again.
Now, you talked about the damage you were doing. In the fifth round with those elbows, did you think the elbows were not 12 to 6 elbows to have the ref stop?
Yeah, I don't think they were, the issue wasn't the 12 to 6. I think it was because I was laying on my back, so I was elbowing like this way. I wasn't elbowing straight from the ground to the roof to the ceiling. He was turning his head to kind of get away from the elbows, and I couldn't really see that. So like as I would elbow his face, he'd turn his head and I hit his back, and the ref would tell me, "Hey, watch the back of the head." And you know, once I heard that, you know, I stopped elbowing it. But if he turned his face again, I started elbowing again. And then he warned me again because he turned his head again. So,
one last one for me. Can you rate him as an opponent?
Given this performance, I'll give him a -2. So yeah, he's definitely better than I thought he was, but he still sucks.
Hey Rafael over here, congratulations on the win. I gotta ask you this, I asked Sergio, despite all the trash talk, despite all the things Sabatel says, do you have any sense of newfound appreciation for him, for all the attention, the new attention he's brought to the bantamweight division?
Yeah, no, I appreciate his fight build-up. I don't. So one of the reasons I wanted to fight him is because I felt like I was one of the people in the division that could pose a threat to him wrestling. I feel like he was like bullying a lot of people with his trash talk and his wrestling. And when I see bullies, I feel a need to beat them up. You know what I mean? So that's one of the reasons I wanted to fight him. But I have a newfound appreciation for his skill set and even the way he showed up tonight. You know, he talks a lot. You know, he didn't talk as much as I thought he was gonna talk in the cage, but he came and he came to fight. So I give him a half of a kudo for that.
And then going into that fifth and final round, what are some of the things your coaches, Jason, Eric, and Eve, are telling you in one of the biggest rounds of your life?
Yeah, Eric told me, I think Eve had lost his voice at that point. Eric was telling me, "Hey, I need you to fucking fight this motherfucker. Fight." I'm gonna say it in Eric's voice. "I need you to fight this motherfucker, okay? You go out there and you fight this motherfucker. Don't wrestle with him. Don't fucking do all this shit. You hit him, you back up, and you hit him again." And I remember that, and that shit stuck with me, you know? I love Eric, you know, for that sense of motivation. That's the type of stuff I need, you know, especially going into like the round of my life, you know? This is to keep $1 million alive, and I love those guys in my corners. I want to thank my coaches, Eve Edwards, Eric Nixick, Jason, my manager, Sucker Punch, also Travis Took, and Michael Corley back in Houston, Texas, Jose. There's a lot of people that were able to help me. I'd like to thank Dylan for asking the question. Yeah, so I appreciate everybody.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you so much.
Right here, Les. Straight away. Man, that had to feel good.
It felt great, yeah.
Were you one of those kind of champs who would tell herself, you know, I'm not the champ until I defend the title? Were you one of those kind?
100%, yeah. Not only that, but my mindset is walking every fight like I have to earn this belt. Regardless if that's 10 down the road and I still have it, undefeated as a champion, or it's 2 more, every fight I have to treat it like I'm trying to earn the right to have it.
Because of how things wound up the first fight with her taking a little bit of umbrage toward the fight being stopped in general, I know that you weren't exactly thrilled with the stance that she took, so does it feel like, you know, poetic justice kind of to end it the way that you did?
Yeah, in all honesty, one of the things I've really been working is crucifix from every single position. So I really was trying to bait her to get back into a crucifix just anywhere. Just so I could say, like, not only am I going to finish you again in the same position, but I'm going to do a lot more dominant, a lot more dangerous. But, you know, one of the things they had to keep talking to me is like, if an opportunity is there, you're a good grappler, don't chase after something. And I saw it was there, and I knew I had to take it and just snap that arm.
So when the crowd got a little impatient, let's just say, right, which tends to happen when you have situations like you guys had there in that round, in the back of your head, are you sitting there going, just chill, because I know what's potentially coming up here?
Yeah, exactly. You know, the fans don't know what's going on, and they don't know what we're working towards. And I wanted to drown her. I want to take her into deep waters and put her in a comfortable position she'd never been in before. And the fans needed to see that there was going to be a reason why I was going to drown her until she couldn't go back up anymore. And that's what I did.
Were you, I guess, surprised that even after how the first one ended, she was a bigger betting favorite this fight than in the first fight?
No, after all the talk that was going on, I mean, I don't pay attention to betting anyway, but I just knew that there was a lot of controversy around it, and there were 2 people talking about it, and it wasn't me. So the person that does the most commotion, that's who people are going to get behind. And I knew, I'm not that person that talks, and I know in the fight game, everybody wants to get behind somebody. Like the trash talker is the one that people are either rooting against or rooting for, but they're paying attention to. So I know that's something I need to do more, but I knew that my actions would back it tonight, and then what happened originally wasn't circumstance, like it was something I created.
We heard a little bit of what you were saying in the cage. So run through it again for us. What's next? What do you want? What are you looking for?
Yeah, so Lima McFarland and I have been training partners for years. We have a lot of respect for really good fans. And she's talking about she wants to retire and she wants her fight against me to retirement. After her not making weight the last fight, and just, who always wants to have to cut all the way down all the time? It would make sense to me, and I want to be Bellator's 135 champion, and I want to hold a belt in 2 divisions. And I can't think of anybody better to do that with than Alima. As her retirement fight being my opening a new division in Bellator. So I'm going to fight her in Hawaii for retirement. And then Watanabe's worked way up the ranks. I think she deserves a second go because I think I did catch her by circumstance. I don't think that is what was supposed to happen. And to do that in Japan, where that's where I grew up, and it's her home roots, I think that would be a phenomenal card for Bellator to put on.
Have you had conversations with Scott or anybody else about them opening up 135? Is it just wishful thinking? Or do you know something that the rest of us don't officially know yet? I mean,
it's mostly wishful thinking, but if there's one thing that I've been doing since I've been in Bellator is trying to put things into fruition and putting out there what I want. This is something I want, just like I wanted to win the fight. I said I was going to win the fight by the 2nd round, and that's what I did tonight. So I think that Bellator is going to listen, and hopefully they'll meet me with this and we'll make a 135 division.
Kane Williams for Kane Chronicles Media. Once again, all gratitude and smiles. Congratulations on the win. What does a win tonight do for you personally, away from the cage?
Personally, this is the first time I've ever gone away for fight camp. My head coach, he moved out to Virginia, and I have all the faith and confidence in his ability, and this is the first time I've ever left home for a coach. That's how much belief I have in his abilities and trust that I have in him and confidence. So I was like, hey, I know that you're moving to Virginia, but can I follow you and do my fight camp with you? So that meant that I left my wife with 2 kids, our nonprofit organization with all the dogs that she's training by herself and doing it on her own. So this is a big win for me because I left her all alone. I had to sacrifice. She had to sacrifice so much. So this is something that I had to show her that all that sacrifice that we both did wasn't for anything, that I did the right thing.
And also during the fight tonight, did you find yourself having to make necessary or different adjustments compared to your last match against Velasquez?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely, she didn't run like she did the first time. And then on the cage, I definitely felt stronger against her the first time, the run round, where I just could easily manhandle her and move her around and control her. And where if I would give and take for a knee, she'd get back. And she didn't, for one, she was punching me below the belt, which I had another ref saw, which was definitely a surprise for me. But I anticipated that if I need her, she was going to need me back and off balance. And she definitely learned from our first exchange in the fight that that's what ended the fight for her. So she adapted for that. They came as a surprise. And I was definitely trying to make her there with it.
Liz, congratulations. Similar question you already asked. The crowd was booing. You have such an advantage on her on the ground. How hard is it to kind of stick to that game plan, knowing that submission's going to open or something like that, but not having that, you want to please the crowd and let me slug it out with her?
If you listen to my coaches, I actually went against the game plan a little bit. I pictured something so much and I worked on it, I saw it in my head. And as much as I even tell other teammates, just because you picture something, don't listen to the coaches. I just knew what we had worked on, I could tie into so much better, and I knew I had the gas tank to do it. So that was going against the game plan. But I know we all had the confidence that once I got there, I was doing the right thing. And whether the crowd boos or not, I've been in fights where I'm coming into a different country, and the entire country is against me. So the fans don't really sway me one way or the other.
I'm going to go back to what you talked about, Alima McFarland. I'm a little surprised you said that you want that match, because earlier this week you were asked about it. Sure, they were asking defending the title against her, but the one thing you really stressed was like, hey, she's my friend, but I don't want to give someone a gift. And she's lost 2 out of her last 3 fights. Do you really think she deserves a title shot?
To win the 135 division where she has a clean record, yes. There's something to be said. She did so much. I don't think that the flyweight division would be where it's at today in Bellator if it wasn't for Alima. She did such a good job of being a voice and advocate for women and an advocate for this division that I certainly want to close out her career in a good way. And it'd be nice for me to not have to go all the way to 125, and I know she'd love it too. So I think that we could put her on a good show at 135, and it doesn't compromise the 125 division by doing that.
My last question, I was thinking about the 3 major United States-based MMA organizations, Bellator, UFC, and PFL. You're the only woman who's an American who's a champion right now. What does that mean to you?
That's the crazy. I didn't even realize that was the case until you just said it, and I just put all of it in my mind. Not only that, but I'm probably, I mean, when you say that, I'm also the only Marine Corps veteran that's holding this belt. So that means a lot to be able to represent the entire country and do it strongly.
Congrats on the win, champ.
Thank you.
You mentioned fighting at 135 for the title, maybe next. What does that cut for you to get down to 125 now? And would you have to change your body composition at all to really compete at the highest of levels at bantamweight?
No, I don't think so at all. I carry a lot more bone density in muscle mass. I've done DEXA scans, I've done all the math, and 125 is, I'm a disciplined human being in general. I'm a Marine at heart, you know, and I carry that with me, and I have discipline all the time. Like, I'm gonna go have some cookies tonight, and I'll enjoy this weekend. I'm driving out to New York City to go see my mom and spoil her for a little bit. So I'll enjoy that time, and then the moment that she's out the door, I'm gonna go back to eating clean again, right? So for me, it's not that difficult in the sense that I know what I'm working towards, and if it means the difference between having some cake or doing a workout, I'm gonna choose a workout every day. So the discipline to get to 125, it's there, but you know, it's doing a cut when you may not have to. And I can say that I can do it the best way, the healthiest, scientific way, but it's still something you're doing to your body that you really shouldn't be. So 135 makes a lot of sense for me.
Okay, last question from me. Now you did say, or no, actually this is a different question here. You're going to be 39 in February, right? You don't look a day over 29, so I'm just going to say that. But do you feel like you're going to be able to compete into your 40s? Like, what is your mindset here moving forward as far as longevity goes?
Yeah, when I look at all the other 20-year-olds out there, they may have youth, but they're doing it wrong. You know, I've done research, and I'm making an investment into the longevity of my body, even outside of fighting, and because of that, it's helped pay me back, and I'm keeping a well-oiled, well-maintained machine that's ahead of the curve of everybody else. I outrun and outsprint every 20-year-old practice. I'm just continue to do that until I can't anymore. But it's mostly my mind over my body telling it that this is what you're supposed to do. I love the evolution of the sport. Like, I'm not invested in the wins and the losses, I'm invested in the process. I get to meet people. Every training, there's something new to learn, and I have fun in every practice. And that's what I love doing. This is just an opportunity to test everything I've been learning. So as long as I have that mentality, I think I'll be able to do this as long as I possibly can.
Yeah, Liz, congratulations, such a great win. I just have one question. If Bellator, if Scott Coker were to come to you in a couple months and say, we want to do a women's Bellator flyweight Grand Prix, $1 million at the end of the tunnel, you just got to get through the gauntlet of contenders, is that something that might interest you in the future?
You know, it is. You know, I love the idea of bringing more talent into the division and into Bellator. I think it'd be way cooler to see it at 135, but if it's at 125, I'm for it.
Okay, so Liz, I'm just curious. 2 fights with her, they're in the back window right now. Let's be honest, do you think you're going to see her at least one more time?
I don't think so. I think that Bellator's done such a great job that they're continuing to grow this division. I think for one, her arm's going to have to heal, so that's going to take some time. But there are other women that are learning from the mistakes that she made in both fights, and I think they're starting to get really privy onto what she does and what she doesn't do, and they're going to be able to defeat her, so I don't think that you're going to see her rising to the top quite in the fashion that she has before.
Now, this is the second time in your career you've been the co-main, well, the first one wasn't co-main, but on a card where the main event is just visceral hatred. The first one being 205 with Conor and Eddie. Could you ever imagine yourself being part of such a visceral hatred type fight?
For myself personally?
Yeah.
No, I don't. I mean, the extent that somebody would have to go to be able to spark that, I think would probably be, they'd be in jail. So you can't really push me to that. I have good composure, and I do want to put on drama that fans want to invest into, so they want to tune in. But it's also not really true to who I am. You know, I'm not a trash talker. It's just not. I believe that sometimes that's just trying to inflate your own ego so that you can feel confident enough to get in there. My actions will always speak for me, and I can. If I run my mouth, I'm going to raise myself up on a cloud of something I'm going to fall through. I'd rather not do that. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz.
Can't wait to see that one over. Get it! Take a video of this, baby, will you? I'm gonna watch everything over tonight.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. Good talking to you.
How'd that feel?
Felt great, man. I choked out maybe my 10-0 as an amateur. I was fighting in California. I choked something with that same prayer choke. So I was just trying to be patient, man. You know, it's surreal right now. It's crazy, but what a ride.
Can you even like prepare for something like that, or is that something that just has to, you know, it happened happened in the moment? You pounced on it. You just made sure to not let up on that squeeze.
No, I got a mean guillotine and I could choke anyone out in the world with it. So, I mean, normally guys in the practice room, they have to tap, but in a fight, if they're reluctant to tap, I mean, anytime someone taps, I basically get strangled them unconscious. So.
Is that something that you thought about, like during camp, that you saw something in his game that maybe you figured he might be susceptible to something like that?
I seen it in the Barzola fight that he's susceptible to that guillotine, but I felt like he has a warrior spirit. I got, a true warrior code, so I knew I wasn't going to get him unless I put him out. Like, I knew I had to put him out. And, granted enough, he showed his true heart, and he went unconscious.
Obviously, this is the biggest one of your career, I'm assuming. Would you feel that way?
Yeah, the last one's your biggest one, so it's always your next one's your biggest, so.
The next one gets really big now.
Same as this one, Stotts and him, 2 rounds to 1. More rounds, he might beat Stotts. Now, you know what? I've been telling everyone all fucking weekend. I'm the favorite to win this tournament. Now what? Now we're going to be talking. I'm the favorite. Wanna know why? You see those 2 guys in the finale? I could submit them too.
So how much confidence does that give you the next 3, 4, 5 months, however long it takes until you know what the date is for when you get back in there again? To feel like you could put either one of those guys out the same way you just put Magomed out?
Sabatello puts himself in that same position 100 times, I was telling everyone. So, I was already confident against him, but seeing Maga and Stotts fight and how close it was, and then my performance I put on, I felt like I won that first round hands down. I cut him in the eye, I hurt him a couple times, and then I put him away on the ground. So, much respect to the Tiger, man. I said it. The only way you can take that guy is if you take him out. So, I'm happy to do so.
So, Patchy, were you at all concerned that you might have also burned yourself out had you gotten out of that?
No, I would have stayed on top there. That's why I was in the choke so long. I wasn't trying to squeeze my arms at 100. I was trying to leave like 30, 40. Me and my coach talk like, it's a slow, steady, progressive state to put someone out. I could squeeze that for like 20 more seconds, to be honest with you, if I had to. I was just trying to stay calm, stay patient, because I knew I had him and I didn't want to waste it.
Cool. And with you winning, does this prove that upstate New York is actually true New York? I mean, upstate New York really doesn't get,
Yeah, I know. We don't get no respect, Upstate New York, all we do is get hammered with snow. So it's all lake effect snow up there. But it ain't true New York. I hate to take it away from, the real New York. But, let's go Buffalo Bills. That's what I got to say about that.
Thank you.
Patty, congratulations. The thing you said this week is that you're the hybrid, that your wrestling is so different. It's really submission grappling more than just wrestling. You're going to face Stotts or Sabatello. Both guys are known for their wrestling. Do you think what you did tonight might actually make them change their game and they're not going to try to take you down?
Well, they weren't trying to do that anyways. If you watch me, that's my 12th submission. Just because I submitted my guy I was seconds removed from submitting Juan Archuleta, and I would be 18-0 up here, and people would still be talking. We shouldn't take him down. You have one little hiccup, and people, I needed that experience to get me here. Now, if I was on level 5 before, I'm on level 50 now. I'm way better. I'm way progressed, and I've learned a lot more. So these guys don't have to worry about what I did tonight. They got to worry about how much better I'm going to get until the next fight. Because I'm going back in the gym. Me and my team are getting together. We have a big fucking prize to win right now. Big prize, and it comes with the world title. You know what I just did? I earned my shot at the world title. I earned it again. It's my second time coming around, and I'm not going to waste it.
Obviously, you already told us that you think Stotts is going to beat Sabatello. That said, you were pretty fired up talking about Sabatello. Does that make you want him to win so you kind of, take care of business?
Sabatello sucks.
Sergio Pettis is up here. Obviously, if you win this tournament, you'll eventually face him. He actually mentioned that you guys trained before, and he was very
me and Sergio we trained before. I got nothing but respect and love for Sergio.
Yeah.
I seen his fiance out there. I know they're here. I'm hoping they have a good night. I wish them really, a full recovery. My girl went through ACL surgery herself. She's making her recovery right now. It's a real tough injury. And I got nothing but respect and empathy for anyone that goes through that type of injury. So go well, I make it to, win this tournament. Me and Sergio can meet in the middle and, fight for that undisputed one day.
Yeah, and he said pretty much similar things about you. He was very respectful. My last question. The best bantamweight in the UFC is Aljamain Sterling. I think you made a statement tonight that you're the best. You guys kind of have very similar, long, lengthy guys. You have a wrestling background, but it's a lot about the submission.
Yeah, Aljo's good too, man. I train with him at Couture's, nothing but respect to him. We train with Marab too. He's like top 3 in the world as well. Nothing but respect for those guys. I'm glad they're in the UFC. I'm over here. We don't have to do no cross bullshit. We can train together, keep leveling up, and when you're fighting, you gotta believe you're the best in the world, especially if you're fighting against someone like the guy that I just fought, Magomedov. So if you don't think that when you walk to that cage, go did a fucking different job.
Do you think that, based that you guys have such a similar style, that hybrid wrestling you talk about, do you think that's got to be a pattern going future? Like in MMA, we constantly see new wrinkles.
New wrinkles. I feel like a lot of people don't have to shoot to the legs in MMA to take people down, like a body lock. Whereas you guys seen tonight from me, I didn't even need a takedown to get to the top position at all. I used my submission threats to get to the top and then eventually put him to sleep.
Congrats on the win, Patrick.
Thank you.
One question for me. When you win this tournament, what are you going to do with all that money?
Invest it, I'm going to save it, I'm going to take care of my family. I'm going to do the things that I need to do, the correct things.
What's up, Patchy? You're one round away from being 17-0. You just made quick work of a guy that had never been finished before. I'm always asking you to talk about Kobe, talk about Don, all these guys, Superfly, but how proud are you of yourself in this moment right now tonight?
Dylan, I don't even know right now, man. Me and you, we got to get on an interview like next week. We got to let this shit all sink in, bro. We got to do like a 10, 20-minute interview, do a recap or something. Hasn't totally sunk in. It's so surreal to me right now. I'm sure in the next half hour, it'll bring tears to my eyes, bro. You know what I mean? When I come back with my team, it's just such hard work that we put into this, and I'm amazed, man.
Let's do that interview. And after that first round, you had a very deep guillotine, it seemed like, on Magomed. What is your coach, Harry St. Ledger, saying to you going into that second round?
Chill, man. That first one, I didn't want to totally go for it because my leg was caught in me. Remember we talked? Outside foot on the top. It wasn't out, so I was just chilling, making sure I didn't end up on bottom. I didn't think I'd finish him in the first round with it, to be honest with you. I didn't even think I was close. The main thing was not to burn myself out. But I felt very good in stand-up. I didn't think he could touch me. When I'm able to hit hard and we're out there, it's way different than in the gym, man. I can hurt you, you know what I mean? So I got good boxing, I got good kicks, and I got good, my eyesight's pretty good.
You're going straight to the celebration. You're going to watch this next fight unfold. Other half of the final.
Shit, we'll see. I don't know yet.
Thank you, man.
Thank you, bro.
Congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Congrats on the win, man.
Thank you.
How did it feel in there?
I felt good. I don't know what else to say. I felt good.
Felt good. I mean, it seemed like kind of a little bit of a grinder, right? I mean, do you think that you kind of specialize in that? I mean, that's like suited for your style of fight if it has to be grinded out like that?
Oh yeah, I can do that all day long. I'm used to working hard and going to dark places and fighting my way out of them. But that's not how I want to fight. I want a long career. I want to finish guys. At the end, I almost got to finish. It was late in the fight, but I still wanted to finish. I was going after it. Missed a couple of shots on the way down. And unfortunately, he was able to survive until the final bell, but I was hoping to get the finish.
Still, does that give you like a little bit of a moral victory right at the end of the fight? Like, damn, you know what? I clipped him though. It felt good to get one solid one, get a knockdown.
No, if anything, it's a little bit more of a tease than anything.
Talk me through kind of the momentum that you're on now. We talked the other day about a solid 3-0 this year, 3-0 next year. Suddenly, you're probably looking at a title shot. Do you feel like that's still the trajectory as you move forward into 2023?
Yeah, I need to continue to get better. My teammate Johnny is the champ right now. We train with each other all the time. We get better, but I'm getting my experience in the cage. So one thing I can take away from these decision victories, even though I don't want to, is I'm getting more cage time, and I'm learning to chain things together as I go. So later in the fight, I realized instead of just parrying the jab or moving out of the way of it, I started hitting with the overhand right over top of his jab, where a couple times I was parrying it and doing a double jab right hand. Caught him a few good times, but he's hard to hit. He's athletic. He moves weird. he posts his long arms and he posts on the way back when you're coming in. So a lot of my overhand rights and my punches were hitting his arms before they were hitting his face, so they weren't really landing flush.
Kenny Williams from King Chronicles Media, congratulations on
Thank
the
you.
win tonight. So striking serves as a huge upside in your fight arsenal, but at any given time tonight, did you feel kind of frustrated that Adams actually wasn't bringing the fight to you?
A little bit, but I know if that's the way he wants to fight, you know, good for him. But I look at that as you're becoming a master of retreat, you're not becoming a good fighter. So he's talented, but you know, I can sit there and be comfortable all day long if they're not bringing the fight to me.
We know, Dalton, with a continued unblemished record, what continues to help you stay rooted and really stay a master of the craft in MMA?
My gym at ATT, my gym back home, the Mat Factory, my coaches, my training partners. Like I just said before, Johnny Ebelin's the champ in our weight class, and he's one of my teammates. He pushes me every day at the gym. And you know, one day we might have to fight each other. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, but at the end of the day, it's just business. But until that day, I'm going to keep training with him and keep getting better because he pushes me. He's a beast, you know. Good gas tank, good strength, and good wrestling, you know. I think he has all the qualities that I have, plus a good gas tank. So, you know, he's a really good fighter, and I'm blessed to have people like him in the gym. You know, I've got people at other promotions as well, but just for a relevant name that you guys know as an idea of people that I train with.
Dalton, thank you for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Dalton, congratulations. You went for one takedown, took him down, mounted him, kind of dominated him. I know one time he shot on you, you sprawled, took him over, really dominated on the ground. I would like to see you wrestling even more. I mean, it seemed like you won it pretty easily.
I don't know. I don't wrestle unless I feel it's there. I don't try to force it. I want to get the takedowns whenever they show that an opportunity shows themselves. I don't like forcing stuff. And he was throwing a lot of knees and uppercuts up the middle. And obviously, as you can see during the fight, there was no point I was in trouble on my feet. There was a couple awkward exchanges just by the way he was backing out of things. But besides that, the only stuff I got clipped with was maybe a couple kicks here and there, a couple on the legs, a couple on the body. But blocked mostly everything, and you know, slipped everything, blocked, moved out of the way. I wasn't ever really in trouble on my feet, so I was comfortable there.
Yeah, it seemed like the crowd was really into this fight. They were going crazy when you got the knockdown. It seemed like I heard everyone in the entire arena cheering for you the whole time. I mean, how did a guy from Pennsylvania become such a star in Connecticut?
I have a lot of people that came here from Pittsburgh. You know, I say it all the time. Bellator needs to either come to Pittsburgh or Youngstown. There's a Felly Center in Youngstown. There's PPG in Pittsburgh. You know, we could sell that out. It's a big football town. You know, we got a bunch of sports teams there. We got the Penguins, we got the Steelers, we got the Pirates, and it's a big fight town. A lot of good boxers. There's a lot of fighters in the Youngstown area and the Cleveland area. So there's people coming from all over. Plus, it's a university town. There's Pitt University, Duquesne. So we could sell out that arena, no problem. And I think it's a great place, a great city to have a fight.
Hey Dalton, how did it feel to have your boy Ryan Shazier cage shot for this one? Was it the first time he got to see you perform in the flesh?
No, he got to see me in January in Phoenix. He came to that one as well. He actually flew all the way here from LA. He was in LA on business, and he flew here all the way by himself to come see me fight. So thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it, dog.
And I wanted to ask you about John Salter. Is that a guy that you still have your eye on, maybe for your next fight or one down the line in 2023?
Yeah, he's like Romero Cotton 2.0. Dude keeps ducking me. They tried making the fight twice. There was never ever any contracts this time like there was with Romero Cotton, but nonetheless, they've offered me the name, and the fight never came to fruition. So I don't know what's going on on his end, but hopefully they can make that fight happen.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Dalton, congratulations.
What's up, Ryan? How are you?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Good.
If I'm not mistaken, this was your Showtime debut. What was the build up to the fight? Just how did it feel for you?
I mean, it felt great. It was just another day fighting for me. You know, I fought the Mohegan Sun. It's my 5th time. And I fought in that same cage, the Bellator cage, 8 times now. So, same feeling, just got more eyes on me on the main card on Showtime. So, I know you're a big football fan. You got Ryan Shazier behind you. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I absolutely will. I got tons of Steelers friends that are fans of this guy here. So I will. I was going to ask you about Salter. So this guy.
You just talking about the Patriots. You were just talking about.
Yeah, he's a huge Tom Brady fan.
That's right. I was just in Tampa. I was at the game.
I saw that.
Yeah. So John Salter. That would be great if it's next time frame. What are you thinking for that one?
Maybe spring. You know, I want to let my body heal a little bit. I'm dealing with a little bit of injuries from fight camp. I'm not going to disclose those, but came into this fight a little banged up, so I want to let those heal, take maybe a week or two off, enjoy the holidays, enjoy some food, and slowly get back into fighting as I'm feeling better.
Okay. Last question for me. Steelers, Ravens this weekend. Do the Steelers get it done, and should I start Najee Harris, or should I sit him?
On fantasy, yeah, you should definitely start him. I think we're going to get it done for sure. As long as he's getting the ball, they're feeding him the rock, he's going to put up a lot of points. And, you know, what makes it even better is Lamar Jackson's out, so it's going to be even easier game.
Okay, Dolan, so the win's in the bag, it's in the past already, but was there any hesitation whatsoever taking somebody 5 spots down from you in the rankings?
No, I asked for him actually. Mike Hogan, my manager Mike Hogan, wrote back and forth. I was trying to get a fight. The John Salter fight didn't come to fruition. They offered me Imam Shafi Aliyev, and these were both for November 18th card. Both turned me down. Imam Shafi was still fighting, so I told my manager, I'm like, hey, this guy's fighting, but they're pushing me back till next year. Turned out that they didn't have any budget left, or there was something going on with like spots being filled on the cards, and he was like, we got a prelim fight for you on December 9th, but we didn't want to put you on the prelims because we didn't want you to feel burned. So I was like, I don't care. I just want to fight again. I like staying active. I want to fight before the holidays, get another fight in before the end of the year. And they made it happen. We eventually got elevated to the main card anyways. Nonetheless, I was asking for opponents. I asked for Khalid Murtazalayev. He fought, I want to say, October, and he got TKO finish. So I figured maybe he'd be good to go. They said it was too quick of a turnaround. Then I was like, okay, what about Anthony Adams? They're like, I like that matchup, and they made it happen. So
Cool. I'm just curious, did he do anything that actually shocked you in the ring?
no, I was ready for everything they did. My striking coach, Anderson Franca, we broke down film together. I watched film on my own. I seen everything he did. And honestly, he looked faster on film. I feel like this happens every single time I'm in the cage. I've been in there with Tony Johnson, who was taller than me. He was a really good boxer with Ty Werder. And on film, these guys look fast, they look explosive. But whenever I'm in there, bro, you know, it's a different story. I hit them with a jab, and, you know, I'm connecting every time. They throw a jab at me, I'm parrying, slipping, whatever. It just seems like everything's in slow motion when people are throwing at me.
And last one for me, did you think at all for a split second that in the third, Brian Miner was going to take a point from you?
For what?
For the kick? To the
nuts?
Yeah.
I hope not, because I got kicked in the nuts before that. I don't know if you guys looked up the screen. In the first round, he kicked me in the nuts. Or what was it, the second round? I'm not sure. It was the second, beginning of the second. He kicked me in the nuts too, and that was an honest God mistake. You know, I was aiming for the stomach. It was a teep to the stomach, and, you know, he stepped in at the same time, caught him right on the cup.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.